Hi everyone, my name is Matt Lewis and my project is called Democratic Socialism in America. The purpose of my project is mainly to get people into politics, which is why it's so important to us and overall our country. And a lot of my projects deal with research and interpreting things that are said or read about a certain politician or just politics in general. And just to get a better understanding of good research interpreting, because politics and really research in general about anything is important to this country. I also want to show that research is definitely vital to determining who we want our country to be run by, or even just any knowledge out there. This project is mainly for people who want to get involved in politics, or even people who are already involved with politics, want to learn more about politics. I also think it's a good thing for anyone who wants to get a better way of researching and finding information. And I think politics is just very helpful in that sense, to learn what is true and what isn't true about certain politicians or fake news in the media. I also think anyone who supports or dislikes Congresswoman Alexandra OcasioCortez, who is the main politician I'll be going over in my project. Okay, so Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, or AOC for short, is the person I'm going to talk about in my project. Why I chose her is mainly because of her impact on the country. I think she's had a major impact, whether people consider it good or bad. There's definitely both kinds of people who think that her impact is good, and people who don't really like her or her impact. Also, she just interests me, and she's actually the person who got me more into politics this past year. And I'm just very passionate about her and what she stands up for in this country. Okay, so most of my project is just research about politics, mainly revolving around Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, just to get a better understanding of what she believes in and how she achieves her goals through Congress and through the system of our country. I also watched a lot of YouTube videos on her and a documentary called Knock Down the House, which is about her and 3 other women who ran for Congress. And I tried making most of this research less of an opinion-based research and more of explaining facts, like facts that things are like what she said or what is said about her. Some constraints on my project was only being able to give ideas about one person instead of many. One of the main reasons I only chose really one person to go over in politics is because if I went over like 3 or 4, that would be a very, very long project. And I think it's good to just see how to do it in one way instead of many different ways and about many different people. But obviously, with that being said, I'm limited to only what incidents with this one person. And I can only really give differing views on this one person, and in this case, AOC. And even though my opinion is important, and I do give it in the project near the end, it's not necessary to help give a more in-depth analysis of who Congresswoman Cortez is, and that kind of limits me a little bit. So my project is made up of these 5 different sections: background, beliefs, and sphere of influence, democratic socialism, quotes, and some last remarks. So the first section, background, I basically just give an idea of what Congresswoman Cortez's life, what she's done, how she got into politics in the first place, why she's in politics, just basic stuff about her, just to get you or the viewers to know more about her before I really go into events and stuff of her life. And then beliefs and sphere of influence is the next section I go into. This is mainly what party she's in, which is the Democratic Party, what her main beliefs are, and her influence on this country, whether it be good or bad, depending on different people's views. This section is mainly just putting out facts of like how she's impacted this country, like what she's done, what she's been involved in, etc. And then I kind of go into democratic socialism, which is she's a democratic socialist. So just going in depth, not necessarily of her, but just her status, I guess you'd say. Just mainly just going over what it is, why socialism is for some reason compared to Marxism a lot, because it's definitely compared to it a lot from what I've seen. But also why it is important to know what makes socialism and Marxism different, because they are different things, even though they're compared to each other a lot. And then I do almost like a list of quotes for the next section, and then just one by one analyze them right after I give the quote. All of them are things said by Congresswoman Cortez, and I just go over what I think she's trying to tell the audience or whoever it is she's saying it to, and try to make it less opinion based. It always has to be somewhat opinion based because it's my own interpretation, but I just try to get out different interpretations based on factual things, if that makes sense. And then the last section is just last remarks, which are basically an overview of the main points and ideas I wanted to get across in the project, kind of like a summary of the project. And I did give some of my opinions in there, just to kind of fit it in there what I believe too, not just putting out facts. But yeah. I definitely feel like I learned a lot from this project, from researching different topics and different ideas in many different ways. I think I ended up using like 2 YouTube videos, a documentary, and about 3 or 4 websites, and kind of had to put them together a little bit, because all of them did go hand in hand, which was a little confusing, but I think that really helped give me a better idea of her life and her influence. I think it also showed me how just one person can have a great impact on others, whether for better or worse, because she's definitely had a huge impact on this country, even though she's not necessarily like super high. She's still a powerful woman of Congress. That's definitely speaks out a lot. And I think it also helped me just get a better understanding of different viewpoints on certain people, to get a better understanding of the situations and determine what I believe is important or true. I think overall my researching skills have definitely improved from looking at all these different articles, videos, and just kind of taking notes and taking all this information in and trying to figure out what I believe is true and what I believe is important to you as a whole. So yeah, that's all. So thank you for listening, and